Welcome! In this video I am taking a look at the gaming performance on the new iPad Pro 12.9 inch with the M2 chip. I have performed over 20 game tests on both the M1 and the M2 Apple iPad Pro to be able to determine if there is any real-world gaming performance differences between the two devices. But before I show you the results, let's take a look at the new iPad Pro with the M2 chip. On the outside, the new M2 model is very similar to the older M1 model. The only visual difference is the space gray color, which is brighter and more similar to the space gray color of the newer MacBook Pro models. The M2 iPad has a new feature where you can hover the pencil to preview your selected brush and also get hover effects when hovering icons and other objects. But the main change to the new iPad Pro is the M2 chip. On Apple's website they claim that the chip has 15% faster CPU performance and 35% faster graphics performance. I'm curious to find out if these spec bumps make any difference in the real world when playing some of the most popular games currently available. Therefore, I tested over 20 games where I recorded the FPS for 5 minutes of gameplay with graphic settings set to both low and high. I did this for the M1 model and also the M2 iPad Pro to get somewhat comparable results. I then put the results in scatter plots where you can see the FPS over 5 minutes of gameplay. I label each plot with the game name, iPad version and average FPS. Each scatter plot has thousands of values, so looking at the average FPS is probably the most comprehensive way to compare the results. When I did these tests, I found out that the results are very similar on both devices. Pretty much both models will max out allowed FPS. I guess most games available today are not really made for mobile devices this powerful, and the games have limitations in their game settings and does not require any of the iPads to run at full speed. Therefore, we won't really see any performance difference, as the spec bump on the M2 model is not even needed to run the game at full speed. The only case where the iPad Pro M2 model was significantly worse was when playing League of Legends Wild Rift. For that game, the M2 model only did 60 FPS, while the M1 ran at 120 FPS. Though this was not due to the M2 model not performing, but rather due to the game not being able to recognize the new M2 model and did not allow me to set the 100 FPS option. This is probably an early adopters issue and will most likely get resolved in a future update of Wild Rift. So my final conclusion is that if you are thinking about upgrading from the M1 to the M2 in hopes of getting a better gaming experience, I must recommend you to not do so, because as of now there is not really any mainstream games available to take advantage of the marginal performance improvements that the M2 chip brings. But if you are upgrading from an even older iPad than the M1, it's still a good idea to upgrade, and you can either get the M1 for a cheaper price or the M2 if money is not an issue. And in both cases you will get pretty much the same awesome performance. Anyway guys, I hope you found this video useful. Like and subscribe, and here we go.